shuffling.
Yeah, or even if they don't turn out great, but you just enjoy using them the way they are. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the darkest chapter of Thracia so far. I am Mekkah, and I'm joined once again by Raisins. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Mekkah, today is a wonderful day. A really good day.
Is
You
it
know
night?
exactly why it's a good day. I don't actually know why it's dark on this map, if it's like nighttime or if it's foggy.
Yeah,
But we get to play a Fog of War map in Thracia Fog.
Yeah, I think they spent all day hunting pirates, and then when they went here, it's like, okay, it's dark already. So,
Oh boy.
yeah.
They did a night landing to sneak up on them.
Yeah, either that or they just didn't really think it through. I like to think
Mhm.
the latter is the case, but you never know,
Yeah.
man. But fortunately, they do enlighten you, no pun intended, on a couple of things in like conversations between Ava and Leif, both before battle and during battle, on what to do and where to go. Because if you're going in blind completely, this is all you get to see. This is all you get. So I know you can't see a whole lot of it, Raisins, but you know, I know you like fog. Do you like this too? Is this
I
your
love
idea of
this.
enjoyment?
Yeah, super good. No, I really do like these sort of things. I guess, like, I will say, I'll preface this by saying, like, I'm kind of used to it because before I played Fire Emblem, I played other strategy games like Age of Empires or Command and Conquer that had, like, exactly this kind of fog. Like, I'm actually used to everything just having fog of war all the time. So, like, I'll totally preface it by saying, even though I love fog, I get why people aren't used to it. This one, of course, I mean, like, it doesn't really take much more explaining. You can see, you just can't see anything, bro.
You can see nothing.
Yeah.
You can sort of see the path your units can take. Like if it was really impossible for Dagger to walk somewhere like here, the game just indicates so. But that's kind of all you get. In most games for Fire Emblem, if you have Fog of War, you can at least see all the terrain, but you don't see the enemies. But they went above and beyond here. It's the first incarnation of Fog of War, so they were still trying out stuff. To a lesser extent like you, I'm also used to this fog by now, and Lucy's map especially. But I understand frustrations from people who are not, for sure.
I think the precedent for strategy games, because I don't think Advanced Wars is out by this time. I don't really know many other strategy games. But just kind of like a gaming history lesson, a lot of early strategy games had exactly this kind of fog of war, where like the map was just completely dim until you went to go explore it. I'm talking like 1995 Command and Conquer, 1998 StarCraft. For example, all had this kind of fog of war. And then this game was what, 2000?
Yeah, I think
I believe.
2000s, yeah.
Or maybe 1999. Genealogy was 96.
Yeah.
But then sometime after that, I think in like the mid to late 2000s, that's when strategy games started being like, okay, well, let's switch it to the other kind of fog of war where the map is revealed. But we're still going to have like fog.
Yeah, or make one where it's not
unit.
necessary for having a engaging experience. Anyway, good history lesson, but real quick, I'm going to give a speed running on to Dagdar, because, you know, it's important. So I'm going to make him fast and strong, or than he already was anyway. Leave him with this hand axe. I think there's a hunter here that might suicide on him. Give him that speed. I think we went over why last chapter. He's the best long-term unit we have right now. One of the few units who's actually going to hold it long-term. And then do a little trick with Finn. His horse doesn't like sand very much, but you can dismount and then rescue chain him over here a little bit to give him a bit more movements, which I do screw up every once in a while, but I think I'm able to get the hang of it here. So you go here, you can go here. And this will keep Finn relevant on the map for longer. He doesn't fall as far behind as Avel, because Avel really doesn't care about the sand very much. Dagger does, but he still has like high base movement, and initially it's like a huge jump on your rest of units, and everyone else just kind of chugs along. It's the only way I go about it.
Do you plan to go to the fort in the center of the map? I think there's a torch pickup there, but there's also like a lot of enemies, which may not be something you care for. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually send a small group there that wasn't really gonna be keeping up with Ava anyway to pick up the torch there. I usually send Marty over there to pick up the torch, but it might be prudent to maybe have him go elsewhere. So I usually use that area to train Orson on the enemies and have like Marty grab the torch, because he's, as you can see, he's not. Bandits aren't very good at crossing sand, but it might be better to do it another way.
Bandits just aren't very good, one could say.
Cap this guy, I guess. This mountain cap, I guess. Let's go here with Dagdar. I'll give him the Brave Axe, because I think there's like a warrior in the fog that likes to attack him from range here. Actually, I think that might be next turn, whatever. Yeah, let's cap this guy. Why not? Give him something to think about. Sneaking up on me like that. Give me some more money.
It's kind of curious. It's kind of curious you value the torch so highly. I always thought that like going over there, the torch was extra. I was just in it for the XP. So I was thinking you would be like, nah, dude, I'm gonna skip it. There's too much XP.
Yeah. I mean, usually I go for the XP, and then I might as well pick up the torch if I'm going there anyway, right? Because I want Orson to get XP in those cases. But here, I'm not sure if I want to raise Orson or just use him slowly. And if he hits level 10, great, I can use him for longer, you know. But someone's got to clear out the way here. And then these units, they can't really do anything else anyway if they're just chugging along here. So, like, what's the point of, like, having them walk behind Ava and do absolutely nothing? That's my logic here. Sure, take a third iron bow, why not?
Third iron bow.
Alright.
Trade it again. This is why he needs 3 iron bows.
Yeah.
He gets like 3 turns.
He just wants them all.
Can a unit proc a movement star more than once in a turn?
Yeah, so after I moved Ronan there, he couldn't proc a movement star, but if you proc a movement star, then dance that unit, they can proc it again, I believe.
Ah, okay. I swear I think you explained that in like chapter 1 or something, and I just wasn't listening.
It's okay to repeat lessons every once in a while.
That's true.
Yeah, so
that was my goal.
Yeah.
I was just reinforcing it.
For sure.
I was testing the audience, you know.
I'm sure you were. It might be good for Marty to get the XP instead of Orson, who normally gets it, but I'm not sure how far these enemies come in here. So I move him aside. I don't want Marty to suffer from Orson's success, if you know what I mean. Definitely don't want.
True.
We can have Tanya take a hit if one of them comes in here. That's fine. So we'll get like at least stuck behind her, but we'll be able to make do. We have Finn behind here still.
They're just gonna evaporate Tanya. Yeah. Brigand's gonna come out of the fog with a rocket launcher.
Yeah. Okay, the map kind of scroll towards where Leif is, the boss of the chapter, so that you kind of know where to go. And there's also a competition between Leif and Avel that points out what you should do when you see Leif, which is capture him and don't let go, so that the villagers can, you know, have a hand in his punishments. Okay, now that we have this guy open in the open, we could try to like not crit him with Tanya, which I know has been not entirely successful in the past, but she can have another go at not making Marty wait for XP any longer. Good work. Okay. All right.
Good.
And there's another one behind here. I think one might have a hand axe, steel axe. Okay, that's probably doable for Marty still. Actually, Iron might get there. Does needs capture probably doesn't because he would have his strength. So let's just go for an Iron axe and keep the Marty party going.
Oh no!
All right. Okay. It's fine. It was just
we get another
suicide.
go
I think. I hope. I wonder.
I hope so. We'll get another go at it. This is Marty. You got to be patient. You're working at Marty speed, you know.
Yeah, if you're not patient with using Marty, you're playing the wrong game, honestly. Okay, see another random dude over here. We'll give him his due when he comes over here. Ronan doesn't really do very much here, but I mean, he has high movement. What else is he gonna do? We can leave the axe bros behind, but we do want to get Leif over there at some point. So let's just have him rescue dropped a bit forward. Go here and here. Maybe pick up my little Finn next turn. Let's kind of take the path that I know is the correct one. But I know, for example, you can go north at the starting point, which is just a dead end. It seems to be faster, but then it's just a dead end.
Yeah, it's a dead end. I was about to be like, what? You're like, oh, you can go north to the starting point. I thought you were about to blow my mind. Like, there's actually just a bridge there. It's like the one FE6.
Yeah, you played wrong for all these years.
Yeah. It's like the one FE6 map, just a sandbar appears in like turn 4 or something.
Oh god. It's basically the exact same directions too. That'd be like funny if they just referenced that in FE6. No, it's basically dark. Dark dead ends are the worst because you gotta go back as well, and like there's a bunch of reinforcements. Okay, no strength, please. Just keep your stats, Marty. Get HP build, whatever. Get slim, that's fine.
Go.
No,
oh my god,
my strength. No, my strength.
Everything.
Marty.
This is the most blessed Marty we've ever seen.
Oh, it probably will be blessed.
In the
Marty.
wrong ROM, bro.
Okay, he was due to get one eventually. I hope this will be the only one. I still 2 shots this guy though, thankfully. Good job, Marty.
There you go.
Okay, Marty.
That's how probability works.
Yeah.
I just the warrior. I love the warrior.
Oh yeah, they just throw promoted random moving enemies at you. Kaga's very nice. Damn, he's 21 damage. What the hell? Or 11
The
damage.
difference in this game, I imagine, between promoted units and unpromoted units is like not as profound, I imagine.
Let's check. Let's see that claim holds up. So we got this guy with like 30 HP, 11 strength. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
It's a bit bigger.
I can buy the hypothesis. The speed difference is pretty big. This pirate has 2 speed, whereas this warrior has 7 speed. So the difference is there. You know,
what I'm thinking is like a unit like, as far as not necessarily comparing promoted enemies and unpromoted enemies against each other, but comparing like your unpromoted units versus their promoted units, etc.
Oh,
because like if you gave Orson the Brave Axe to the Verge here, he would still be able to kind of scrap with this warrior, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
So you definitely have ways to take your underdogs and have them take on bigger fish, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Just checking if Ronan survives and kind of with the pirates. I could like feed Ronan the kill. I don't think I want to raise Ronan, but I'd be a fool if I didn't show him off at least once. So let's just use him against this guy. He survives the pirate, the steel bow warrior with 1 HP.
Have we attacked with Ronan yet?
No, he has 0 XP, so we haven't. So there's Ronan.
Ooh, 35.
I think he got his movement star before, which is basically his personal animation at this point. If we make this guy move freely, though, he will steal Axe Ronan, so that's not good. So let's not let him do that. So let's just trap him here for now and leave her like choking the point a little bit. Might be some pirates coming from behind. Maybe just rescue him out of here so that he's forced to attack Dagger with a bow again.
Trying to capture the warrior for the torch, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I tried to do with Dagger earlier, but he missed one of his shots. Sometimes the warrior has too much bulk to get captured by Dagger like that, but usually it works out, and if not, a Ronin chip can make the difference.
Oh, they do randomly roll stats.
Yeah, Thracia enemies are actually very notorious for rolling their stats up and down all the way. There's like
right.
They have
even
like
move.
a 0 to 5 difference depending on which enemy it is. Sometimes some enemies are just rigged to have like certain numbers of stats, but
like
a lot of
bosses,
enemies just have like they can even have extra movement, for instance.
Yeah, I do. The moment you started going, I was like, all right. I remember playing through some of the maps and random enemies will just randomly have more move on a reset. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Thankfully, the move difference is capped at 1, so they either, like, a soldier with 6 move will have either 6 or 7. Like, they can't have any less, and they can't have, like, they can't have 8. They can't have 8. So there's probably not the best. I don't know. I mean, you get the point. There's, like, a difference of 1 max. Okay, let's have another go at here.
All right, Dagdar, we believe in you.
Let's go. Let's hit.
Ooh.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, there we go.
Probably not worth doing this just for a torch, but then again, kill XP for Dagdar was 4, so probably was fine. Let's go.
Yeah, Dagdar is the best at absorbing the EXP, I believe you mentioned earlier.
Well, I think Avel's by far the best because she's not permanent, and I don't remember if her growths are worse, but she's gonna be she's less useful in the long term. Let's put it that way. So I would rather kill with Avel than with Dagdar, but Avel can't capture as well. You have Ronan, right? Let's just drop Ronan here. And honestly, I'm not actually that comfortable with Marty and Tanya soloing this whole part, so it's gonna bring the Axe Fighters back. I changed my mind. I don't think
there's
the
whole squad
here. Let's find it out. Yeah, but they're not doing anything. It's like, you can make them chug behind all these enemies, like I keep saying, but what are they gonna do? Like, what has Ronan been doing so far? What's Leif been doing so far?
Yeah, like there's been one attack with Ronan, but I think that was more like showing him off rather than actually doing anything useful progressing the map.
Yeah.
And Leif is, well, you've already stated your intention to not really use Leif that much, so.
Yeah. The more I use Leif, the harder I make the game on myself. So we're just gonna focus on Avel for now, which I was gonna say earlier. This might feel like I haven't really been showing off negative growth that much. I got like a couple Marty level ups and an Avel level up that was empty, and that was it. But that's my best interest. But trust me, around Master, I don't get any pre-promoted units for a long time. So at that point, we'll be seeing a lot of negative levels, I'm sure. So it will come, just not right now. What do you have?
And
ooh, so much stuff. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Give me this. Give me that.
I have some inventory management in mind, but I'm not gonna pay too much attention to it right now. Go here, and then once you've stripped him down, just release him. And you guys were coming back here. I think right now there's no pirates here. There might be like one at some point, but I think right now there's no pirates here. So I'm just gonna sneak Tanya through here. And if she's in trouble, she just yells out for Halvin's help and Orson's help, and it'll come right for her and save her life.
Backing square. I think she can live. You know, you kind of mentioned earlier, haven't really been showing off negative growths, but I would argue actually you have, because again, you've been using Dagdar and Ivel to like absorb the EXP. Like, just because we haven't necessarily seen too many of the procs, it's still influencing the gameplay and still influencing the play decisions that we have to make.
True. Normally, I do abuse the heck out of Avel and Dagdar in this portion of the game to make my life easier, to the same way you use like Marcus and FE6, but this is on a different level. I've been using a lot of Finn. Finn also got a level up earlier. That was had strength and defense. So here we are, using him anyway. Correct. Just grabbing some extra bows for myself. Because, like I said earlier, I do want to capture a lot of stuff for being able to buy S-strength later on. Normally you don't need this much, but when you don't grow HP, especially on staff users, fatigue just kind of adds up over time. Damn, look at that bow collection.
I know. So many 39 bows.
He's still holding on to this thing. That's fine. I don't know why I put Leif in front there, but it's okay.
It's fine. You wanted to seize the throne faster. That's what it is.
Okay, let's try this. This can go all sorts of wrong because Halving can crit, but I just don't want Marty to do this all by himself. Okay, crit doesn't kill now, so crit. That's fine. I was like, crit plus miss doesn't kill, so that's probably the most common thing. Kill. Ooh, let's go.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Let's go.
I mean, 62, but details. It's gonna hit, right?
I really should have given him the Brave Axe, but, you know, extra difficulty. Good shit, Marty.
Does Marty have Brave Axe rank?
Yeah, he has D axes, and Brave is D in this game. They really made Brave weapons range from D rank in this game to A rank in some other games to B rank in GBA.
It's gone all over the place too. What was there were a few other games where the Braves were of different, because obviously in this one like Brave Lance is PRF. And gosh, I can't quite remember. Is the Brave Sword a different rank as well? Like what's the rank of the Brave Sword?
Is there the same as the it's actually B in this game.
Okay. Oh yeah, B for Brave Sword. I remember you get it in 4.
Okay, is it also B for Brave Axe?
B for Brave Axe. That's what it is in GBA, B for Brave.
Yeah. I think they realized at some point, you know, these are potentially more powerful than silver, so maybe we should like classify them that way. I don't remember where the bridge is, but you know what? Let's just go up here. Okay, this is perfect. I think there's one more enemy out here though. Finn, just release.
If you release then Kanto, okay, you get your movement back. I wonder exactly how much movement you have after that.
I don't know exactly how it works. I think there's one more enemy around here somewhere, but they'll be fine. Let's move Dagger past. Leif, I've actually had Leif die in this area before, just being exclusively complacent, so let's not do that. Tanya here, torch move decreased. I still need to report this to Ultimage, I keep forgetting to put it on my to-do list. It's too funny though, I can't stop.
They'll see the video, we gotta keep it though. Wait, there's a... Okay. I was about to be like, there's a reason you're keeping Leif behind, right? And I was like, you literally just stated it.
Yeah. He's...
Myrmidons.
I think he does have an Iron Sword, but I might have given it to Ava, I forgot. Oh, capture an Iron Sword now, not bad. I was hoping she would kill all these guys, but it still works out. There we go, there's the guy I was looking for.
We're farming that combat EXP.
With Finn, it's like Orson, where like I wanted to promote at some point, but not in a rush to get him the levels. But the capturing is like a nice extra incentive to use him. Let's see if Ava can capture a Myrmidon. She cannot, so if I want this Iron Sword... I usually don't recommend capturing Iron Swords here. A lot of people, they know that there's like a chapter coming up where you have a lot of sword units and not that many swords, but I would recommend not going nuts for capturing these. I'm just doing it because of negative growth, but generally I don't recommend farming swords super hard here. You can get like one if you're really uncomfortable, but you honestly don't even need that one. You can grab this one with Dagdar then.
And I think the part you're referencing is the largely indoors Manster arc.
Yeah.
And I think probably next map we're going to elaborate on that a bit more, because next map is where we have to set up our preparations for that whole thing. For right now, I kind of agree. Like maybe capture one Iron Sword and call it like that's enough. Or
it's honestly, for me, the way I play is generally overkill, but I understand being blinded is not entirely a comfortable idea to look forward to. You can give Dagdar an Iron Bow instead of the stupid short bow, probably.
Yeah. How about we don't capture the Iron Sword, but we capture another Iron Bow instead?
Iron Bow where? I don't see an Iron Bow. Okay. You know what? I don't care that much about Iron Swords. I want Ava to kill them all though. So like if I capture with Finn, I guess I can capture with the short lance and then be okay with that. Just don't kill the rest, I guess, with Finn. Capture with shorts. She needs to brave. That's bad. I don't want to spend braves on these guys. Not a million anyway. It doesn't kill the next one, so maybe this is fine. Let's see how fine this is. I hope this is very fine.
I think it should be alright. I mean, there's only one square. We're probably gonna fight another guy. Oh. I was a bit worried for a bit there, I won't lie.
Gotta get that lance rank.
Ooh. Is it per attack or is it per round of combat?
It's per attack in this game, as far as I know. I mean, Finn doesn't really care about Lance rank because, BRF Lance is pretty good. But it's kind of fun to use Silver at some points, I guess. Yeah, I think we're out of pirates at the bottom. I think they're just going to sit there and do nothing for the rest of the chapter. But if one enemy comes up, like, I'll happily get another kill from Marty.
Yeah, there are some reinforcements down there, I think, if you, like, really take your time. But I think you have to dawdle for, like, quite a long time for the reinforcements to really get out of hand. Are they infinite on this map? Do you know?
I don't know. I know there's a lot, but infinite reinforcements in the series are rare. Okay, it looks like Finn is getting more than a couple kills, but okay, whatever. Whatever, bro. I thought I did the math, but I didn't do the math properly enough.
Oh, yeah.
There might be a warrior as well, which I'm worried about. Might have to miracle our way out of here.
Is there another warrior?
Yeah, there's another warrior.
Oh, you're right.
It's time to dodge, though. The dodge. Easy dodge.
Easy.
He would have died. He just fucking died. This is why I didn't want to do it. It was like, all right, let me get the iron sword. Ah, I'm so greedy. Okay, just cover the butt with Ava. This one doesn't even have a torch, so like, why capture him? I should really want that Vuln. This is 15 times 2. It looks good to me. Probably worth noting though that Finn, he faced 37 hit with 1 RN, which is a 37% chance to just straight up die, but he did have Miracle. So in this case, he had 15 luck, so that would have been another 45% chance to dodge if he was going to get hit in the first place. So really, it was 37. Yeah, I would never call that situation safe, but
yeah, no. I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier before. It's like you never really want to rely on Miracle, but like it exists.
You pray to it when it's convenient for you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say I don't look down on anybody for relying on Miracle or using it. That's fine, because the consequences are all your own if you rely on Miracle and you get hit by something.
I think it's similar to Soul in some games where if Soul's the only reason you're staying alive, you probably might have made an error, but at the same time, if you stack it with like a bunch of Avoid, you can just really reduce your chances of dying a lot by just having it.
I think there are like reliable and intelligent ways to set it up. Like one thing, I think like Radiant Dawn Easy Mode with Flare. That one, if you get an early Flare, you can just never die to anything. But, again, that is Easy Mode. Someone in the comments will be like, no, you should play Hard Mode. I do.
Bro.
But if you play easy. Okay, we got 2 units here.
Yeah, neither of them will be recruited immediately, so I guess we should probably discuss the one we see here, Leif, when we grab him, because even though he's technically recruited next map, this episode's already pretty short, so we might as well throw in analysis. This guy will come later though. He is recruitable, but my general recommendation for this guy is just leave him alone. Don't do anything. There's all sorts of rumors about when he starts moving or what he decides to do to you at some points, or where you should like capture him and let him go, or capture him and keep him on. But my recommendation to new players is to not confuse them. Just leave him alone. Just don't do anything about him. Just finish the map and just be done with him. This guy, on the other hand, you recruit him by capturing him and then holding on to him for sure. And you get him next map, which I may as well analyze him now because he's here. And this is a short episode. Next map is going to be a lot longer. So Lithis, I mean, these are his bases. They don't look very good, but he is a thief. So there's always value in that. Now, before I spout my I would call it an informed perspective, what were your impressions on Lithis when you used him?
So my first playthrough, I actually think I didn't get this guy. So I was like, man, chapter 4 is really rough. And then, I went back and was like, okay, we get this guy. So I think I restarted the run and got this guy. No, he's pretty good. I think there was another run through where I trained him up and I promoted him and he was super cool as a thief fighter. His FCM 0 kind of holds him back, but you can just kind of treat it as if you're playing a different Fire Emblem game. And it's like, oh, I still have this guy who can like wield swords and has stats and whatnot. And like you said, he's a thief. So there are a lot of doors to open in Thracia. There's also a lot of chests to open because again, like enemies don't just drop their weapons. Every item you get is either from a capture, a chest, or from a village. So being able to use a lockpick to open up these things is actually quite nice. There's a couple other things that you could talk about with the steal command. That's pretty useful, like the ability to steal fire tomes. Is it fire tomes or thunder tomes that he can steal? I think it's fire.
I can actually steal both.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's got that beefy 6-con. So the ability to like steal a tome and just completely disable a mage. And there's also another mechanic here that I kind of want to be able to show off. So why don't we go and capture Lithis? If you don't mind.
Sure thing. I'll just add, I think you did a pretty good job of covering Lithis. I'll just add my first time experience with Lithis was I abused the heck out of him with like save states and scroll abuse and everything. So my first impression of Lithis was, I wouldn't say inaccurate because it was my experience. Like, what are you going to do? Take it away from me. But it wasn't the typical experience for Lithis. Nowadays, I look at him as mostly utility unit rather than combat, but he does effectively have the ability to one-shot mages, which is very cool. So in that way, he's a good combat unit. Growths aren't very good, but you know what? He is.
Well, that's a plus in this run through. But
Exactly.
What I actually wanted to discuss was like if we were to go up and capture him, you might say, "Oh no, it's a thief. How's Dagdar going to be able to capture a thief?" For example.
That's the neat part.
Unless
done. Well, you
is
can
your
use
plan
Eater
to-
because we got movement stars, but we can use Dagdar.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to use this, I guess. Here you go. Does that equip the thing? Yeah, it does. Okay, so now we grabbed him.
Yeah. So it's like, well, wait a sec. I thought capture required an attack. If the person being captured doesn't have a weapon equipped, you can just go up and steal them. It doesn't take a combat at all. You don't have to hit them. You don't have to reduce them to 0 HP. And first off, it's useful to know this so that you can capture enemies easily and keep your staff units and dancers and whatnot from getting captured. So it's useful to know this. But one thing that Lithis can do is actually capture bait very easily. So he can go and like if there's 2 mages, he can steal a fire tome and then have no weapons, and then the other mage will go up and try to capture him, and you've effectively killed 2 mages with this.
Yeah, this will be used a lot in the Master Arc, and maybe even next chapter a little bit, so we could probably show it off there. We don't really need to trade with Lithis right now, I don't think. I think it's probably good to cover this thing, because, I mean, we kind of already have, but just to make sure that everyone knows. Like I said, this is negative growths, and that means that anything that boosts growths increases my chance of losing more stats. So if you look at Lithis' growth, for example, which I think you do by select or something, I forgot. There was like a button for it.
It's because he's an enemy. He's an enemy right now. So
Oh, you're right. Okay, so I can't show it off right now. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that real quick. So let me just show it off with Dagdar then, and trade it back before we seize, I guess. I guess I'll just throw it on Ronan for now. So Ronan, grab this real quick. You can hold my my hand axe. Okay. So
When you
there you go.
Okay, there we go.
So
Oh, nice.
what scrolls do is they modify your growth. As demonstrated, this is how the Hazel scroll or the Holder scroll modifies your growth, right? And normally, so Ronan normally has 40% growth, so in the vanilla game, that means he has a 40% chance to increase his HP. In negative growth, that means he has a 40% chance to decrease his HP by 1. And the Odor scroll just adds 30% for that. There is a different patch that you can use that I will hopefully link in the description if I remember, that will instead do the reverse. Basically makes the scrolls do the opposite of what they do here, so it will decrease your chance of losing a stat if you want to play a more soft version of negative growths. I decided to go hardcore. The cool thing about scrolls in the context of negative growth, in my opinion, is that there's still an incentive to equip them because scrolls also block critical hits, as they say here. So other than Wrath criticals, it blocks every kind of critical hit, which is very valuable since luck is only half crit avoid, I believe, in this game.
Really?
Yeah, because Ronan has 3 luck, but you can see in the top right he has 1 dodge. So only 10. You can also add it to it with supports, to be fair, to add like 10 crit avoid per support. But still, there's a lot of times where having a scroll is good just because you avoid criticals.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
and you said non-wrath crits, so scrolls don't protect you against wrath crits?
No. So if you're
Oh,
facing
good to know.
Orson
I'm gonna
or
write that
enemy
down.
wrath, then don't rely on scrolls to avoid a crit. It's pretty easy to avoid wrath crits anyway. Just don't take a counterattack from wrath enemies. If they have one to range, find some other creative solution. If they don't, there's a way to exploit it. So don't
Brave weapon.
fight enemies with wrath. Generally,
Yeah.
don't let them counter you. It's not fun. Other than that, though, all criticals can be protected against, and this is very abusable in the whole game, as I'm gonna try and show off sometimes. But pretty scary for me to use scrolls because they increase my chances of making a unit more useless. And the units that I want to fight a lot are the units that I don't want to lose stats with. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting balance in this playthrough. Normally in scrolls, I think they're some of the best mechanics in the game just for making units absolutely snowball out of control, get really good. We have already mentioned that stats cap at 20, but if you have a unit with a bunch of stats at 20, they'll still be really, really good. Not invincible, but really, really good. And doing it so with like funny meme units like Ronan and Marty is one of the best parts of Thracia, honestly, and you should try it.
For sure. I mean, like, it's hard to be a bad unit if you have high stats, right?
Yeah.
Like, certainly you could say, oh, well, they don't have FCM or they don't have a PRF or their movement type or whatever is bad. But like, come on, if you got a lot of 20s, it should be good. So I got one other question for you while we're on the topic, because this is one thing I think new players can get tripped up with. They know that they can recruit Lithis. And guys, spoiler alert, Lithis will be a blue unit at the start of next map, right? Like, sorry if you were like, really trying to go through and avoid spoilers, but he's going to be. Does Lithis have the same inventory that he has right now?
Yes, he does. So he'll have this beautiful hand axe that I gave him next map.
Yeah.
As well as the lock.
This 1820 hand axe. Yeah, I think I guess I made the mistake where I just didn't know, so I just took all the items off of him anyway and then traded them back at the start of the next map. But that's good to know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much. I might give him an iron sword, but honestly he's better as capture bait anyway. But I'm just not too bothered about his inventory because he doesn't. I usually don't do much with him for the next map anyway. So. Yeah,
there's also another option with Shiva though, because you mentioned like leaving him, you mentioned capturing him and releasing him. There's another option with Shiva, and that's just killing him outright.
Yeah, that does get rid of him. That means he's not recruitable.
Yeah, that does get rid of him, but it also gets rid of, well, we'll get to it in the chapter.
It gets rid of a threat for sure, but, you know, I generally don't dislike recruitable characters, vanishing. It is funny, you can use Leif as a scroll to protect yourself against Shiva's killing edge if you do want to fight him, so if you're insistent on doing that, I recommend making use of that. He can't crit you if you have the scroll, so that makes fighting him a lot less dangerous, but, like, don't fight Shiva. it's bad for your health, don't do it, run. We did this in, like, 12 turns. Even if you don't abuse Ava and Dactyr as heavily as you did, you can definitely get out of this chapter within 12 turns. Or like 13, 14 maybe. I don't think the big reinforcements come until like turns 15 or 16 or so, so don't worry too much
actually,
about that.
I looked it up and it's funny. the second warrior we fought is actually a turn 2 reinforcement.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I just always see him.
Yeah, I mean, like, how are you going to get over there in turn 1, right? Like,
I know.
And I think, what is it? Yep, there were reinforcements on all of turns 5 through 9. Actually, on all of turns 5 through 20, there's reinforcements, but they kind of come from the water really far off, so you don't see them. They're a bit delayed.
That's funny. Okay, so next chapter will be a lot longer, so we spent some time in this episode just talking about random topics that we don't have to cover next episode instead. But hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for chapter 3.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Looking forward to chapter 3.
See ya.